just thought I'd hop on and give you a little of my perspective on evolution deniers. Um, Even the most ardent evolution deniers can't admit that evolution happens. They just don't say it that way. What they say is they believe that tiny changes in species happens, and that's called microevolution, but they don't think it should be called microevolution because microevolution confuses people and they think it should just be called a variation. Hey, deconverted man. So they do admit evolution happens because a variation is evolution, people. I mean, come on. All right. Yeah, so true, deconverted man. Deconverted man says they don't understand macro micro, and they don't. They do not. Uh, I don't get the joke, deconverted, but that's okay. Anyway, on the thumbnail that I chose to use for this live stream, you will see a tiger on that thumbnail. This is Felis domesticus, otherwise known as a house cat. Now, they are the same. I think they're the same family. Hey, Lisa. Um, but, so, clearly, a tiger and my little girl right here are related. I mean, clearly. Same ears, same body shape, same tail, same legs. I mean, clearly they are related, you know. So, why, if I'm going to say, okay, microevolution, or let's give credit and say variation. If hey Lisa, she likes you for saying that. Hey, Mr. Shadow Kitty. So if he's gonna say variation, you know, and I was going to do a an edited video on evolution, and it just got so technical that I decided not to do it. But there are two main things that drive evolution. First, you have mutation, and mutation can be a single point mutation. It can be a deletion, an insertion. You can also have a mutation that actually copies the entire genetic code. So you'll have two genetic codes. So then one genetic code can then mutate while the other stays the same. Okay, deconverted man. Hope you get it fixed soon. So anyway, so what we have been saying for years is, if you accept that that microevolution happens, which every anti-evolution person ever will say that microevolution happens, because they just can't deny it. That would be dumb. Okay? So you have to then give us a mechanism by which microevolution cannot then become macroevolution. Hi, Gary Kunkel. So, and I think what drives evolution deniers, I don't think it's the theory of evolution itself, because they admit evolution happens. Even the dumbest of them admits that it happens. But, so I don't think the driving force behind them denying that evolution happens is the theory of evolution. I think that the driving force behind the denial of the theory of evolution, and I could be wrong, this is just my opinion, leave your opinions down in the comment section, is that all evolution deniers that I have come across, and there may be some others, but the ones I have come across are young Earth creationists. Now, we all know evolution needs time to happen. So, in order to buttress their young Earth creationism, we simply cannot have evolution happening on a large scale. So true, I'm compelled unbeliever. Compelled unbeliever says evolution is fact. Science proves the Genesis account wrong. For the fundamentalist, it is a house of cards. This is true. But I think the driving force behind denying evolution is young Earth creationism, because evolution needs time to happen. That by itself will undermine young Earth creationism. But what the young Earth creationists don't understand is that young Earth creation, or the young Earth, sorry, the young Earth was dispelled long before Darwin came up with his theory of evolution. Long before. We're talking about, I think it was the 1700s. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong here, but there was a geologist in the 1700s that said, the Earth is at least hundreds of thousands of years old. Gary, I'm not sure how that can be. because our ancestors came out of Africa. You know, I'm not gonna kick you out. You know, I'm not going to delete your comments because I believe in freedom of speech. But if you would tone it down a little, I would greatly appreciate it. Like I said, you can stay in here. I welcome all views. Just tone it down a little bit. Getting back to evolution, Geary, astronomical science has nothing to do with evolution. Stay on topic, please. So that's my view, that this 6 to 10,000 year picture of how old the universe is drives the denial of evolution. And it's just not, it doesn't work that way, because geology says a young Earth is wrong. Paleontology says the young Earth is wrong. Biology says the young Earth is wrong. So, you have more than evolution that says the young Earth is wrong, and yet, for some odd reason, the young Earth creationists decide that they're going to try to undermine evolution. Now, why is this? Young Earth creationists don't understand science. I used to be a young Earth creationist. Believe me, they don't understand science. So they cannot refute geology or paleontology, because if they ever try to, they are going to sound like fools. And they already sound like fools when they try to refute evolution. But I think that they don't sound quite as foolish. But that's just my approach to it. That, you know, if we undermine the theory of evolution, then we can prove young Earth right. What they are totally overlooking is not A does not necessarily mean B. And this is science. This is experimental science for anyone who's trying to maybe don't understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so you have so in experimental psychology, let's say psychology, because psychology is my mojo. Okay, so in experimental psychology, you have what's called your hypothesis, and you have a null hypothesis. Okay, so what you are trying to do is you are trying to disprove the null hypothesis. In other words, you have your hypothesis, which is A, and your null hypothesis, which is not A. Okay? You are trying to disprove not A, your null hypothesis. Okay. So if you fail to disprove your null hypothesis, if you fail to disprove not A, that does not necessarily mean that A is correct. And on the flip side of the matter, if you prove, well, you can't prove in science. The best thing you can do is not prove. But if you cannot disprove not A, that doesn't mean not A is correct. Neither does it mean B is correct. So creationists have this idea that somehow if they disprove A, which again you cannot do in science, disprove is not a concept in science, or proving is not a concept in science. Disproving is a concept in science. But anyway, I think I'm getting too bogged down in the science talk. Just because you disprove a null hypothesis doesn't mean that A is true. It could be B. It could be C. It could be D. And what the Christian fundamentalists fail to recognize is even if it is not A, that doesn't mean B is automatically true. They don't get that. And Kent Hovind, Ken Ham, Matt Powell, if you are listening to this, I am trying to help you out here because you sound absolutely ridiculous to people with any kind of education. So, just a minute. I got something in my side chat I need to, I would like to address. Gary, I never said you were a creationist. And I don't know what you mean by retrogressing. So, please stop all this nonsensical trying to disprove evolution, because even if you could disprove it, which like I said you can't, not only because it is a very well supported theory, all predictions have come true, we may need to tweak it here and there, but it is a very well supported theory. Even if you could disprove it, that does not mean that creation is true. It doesn't. So stop. Please. For all of our sanity, stop. So anyway, I'm going to be asking my side chat for comments. You got any comments for me? Gary, Hitler was a creationist. He was a Christian. and a creationist. So your argument that evolution started eugenics doesn't have a leg to stand on. And I probably just got demonetized. So, anyway, I guess nobody in my side chat has anything to say. See you guys later. Don't forget I have a new website. Go check it out. Got some merch. And I will see you guys